Bienvenidos! Today we're going to talk about comparisons of equality in Spanish. Comparisons are divided into two main categories: comparisons of equality and comparisons of inequality. Comparisons of inequality are in a different video. In this video we're talking about making comparisons of equality, and that's where we compare one thing to another and both are equal. There are four main groups of comparisons of equality, four main structures that we can use. In our first structure, we're using an adverb or an adjective to say something is as pretty or as fast as something else. So in Spanish, to say as and then fast or pretty as, we use tan and then our adverb or adjective, como. That's the structure we use. So the example is, chocolate is as tasty as coffee. El chocolate es tan rico como el café. And here's that phrase. Tan rico como, okay? As tasty as. So this is our structure when we're using an adjective or adverb. Now tan can also mean so, like in it's so tasty, okay? And tanto or tantas can mean so much or so many. There are so many people. Or I liked it so much. So here's some examples. La comida es tan sabrosa, it's so tasty. Okay? There are so many. Hay tantas. And optionally, we could even put a noun after that. There are so many apples. Hay tantas manzanas. Okay? Or you could say, you ate so much. Comiste tanto. Okay? You ate so much. Notice how with this structure, we usually have exclamation points because it's a sentence with emphasis, okay? It's an exclamatory sentence. So tan and tantos can be used kind of standalone to emphasize the activity that's happening. Now, a third structure is when we're using a verb to make a comparison. So we have a verb and then as much as. Estudié tanto como mi compañera de cuarto. I studied as much as my roommate. Tanto como. And here's our verb. Okay? So our verb and then as much as. Estudié tanto como mi compañera de cuarto. Now the fourth structure is when we're talking about quantity and a noun as. So as much or as many apples as, or as many grapes as something else. So here's our example. Jessica has as many video games as Christina. Jessica tiene tantos videojuegos como Cristina. So we have tantos and then our noun and then como. And notice that tantos agrees in gender and number with the noun. Okay, tantos videojuegos. In this structure as well, tantos is going to agree in gender and number with the noun it's describing, even if that noun is implied. Okay, so if we know we're talking about apples, we're going to say tantas. Okay, if it's unknown, then you would use the masculine gender. But if you know the noun that you're talking about, you're going to use the gender and number of that noun, even if you don't use the noun. In this structure, tanto just stays tanto. It doesn't agree in gender or number with anything. Okay, and tan never changes.